India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to share his thoughts in a monthly radio program Mann Ki Baat at 11 AM Indian Standard Time. Germany heads to the polls on Sunday to elect a new parliament. Olaf Scholz's SPD faces a tough fight from Democrats and far right. Israel delays release of Palestinian prisoners planned for Saturday. Prime Minister Netanyahu says delay until the next release of Israeli hostages is secured. Pope Francis' health worsens after prolonged respiratory crisis, remains in critical condition. Prayers and good wishes pouring in for his speedy recovery. And all eyes on Super Sunday clash between India and Pakistan in ICC Champions Trophy 2025 in Dubai. Updates on Israel-Hamas conflict. First, Israel has delayed the release of over 600 prisoners planned for Saturday in exchange of 6 Israeli hostages. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said the release of more than 600 Palestinian detainees has been delayed until the release of the next hostages is guaranteed and without the humiliating ceremonies at handovers of Israeli captives in Gaza. In the choreographed ceremonies, the hostages are given certificates in Hebrew to mark the end of their captivity before being handed over to Red Cross officials who then transfer them to Israeli forces. Hamas has dismissed repeated calls by the Red Cross to release the hostages in private. On Saturday, Hamas released 6 Israeli hostages as part of the scheduled 7th such hostage prisoner swap under the fragile first phase of the ceasefire deal. In return, Israel was to release more than 600 Palestinian prisoners. And Hamas published a video showing 2 Israelis still held captive in Gaza watching Saturday's ceremony in which 6 hostages were released in accordance with the ceasefire deal with Israel. The Hamas footage shows the 2 men in a vehicle watching the ceremony in the central Gaza district of Nuseirat and pleading for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to secure their release. The 2 men can be identified as Avatar David and Guy Gilboa Dalal. Both David and Gilboa were seized from the Nova festival during the Hamas attack on Israel on October 7, 2023. Hamas still holds 62 hostages in Gaza, including 35 Israeli military says are dead. The forensics team that identified Shiri Biba's body confirmed that she did not die in an Israeli airstrike as Hamas had previously claimed. The chief of the Israeli National Institute of Forensic Medicine confirmed that no evidence of injuries caused by bombing found on Shiri Biba's body. Hamas said on November 2023 that the children and the mother had been killed in an Israeli airstrike.
Over 500 days since the horrific October 7th terror attack, we have identified the remains of Shiri Bibas 2 days after identifying her children Ariel and Kfir. Our examination found no evidence of injuries caused by bombing. Since the 7th of October massacre, the team of the Israeli National Institute of Forensic Medicine has been working tirelessly to identify all the victims of the vicious terror attack.
Well, updates now on Russia-Ukraine conflict. US President Donald Trump stated that the US is nearing an agreement with Ukraine to share revenue from Ukrainian minerals as part of efforts to resolve the conflict. He added US aims to recover the $1 billion in military aid provided to Ukraine.
I'm dealing with President Zelensky. I'm dealing with President Putin. I'm trying to get the money back that, or secured, because, you know, Europe has given $100 billion. The United States has given $350 billion because we had a stupid, incompetent president and administration. 350. So I want them to give us something for all of the money that we put up. So we're getting our money back. We're going to get our money back because it's not fair. It's just not fair. And we will see. But I think we're pretty close to a deal, and we better be close to a deal.
And Trump wants Ukraine to give U.S. companies access to minerals as compensation for the tens of billions of dollars of aid delivered under his predecessor, Joe Biden. Meanwhile, as per reports, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was not ready to sign the deal despite growing U.S. pressure. Now, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban said Ukraine would again become a buffer zone and would never become a member of the EU as long as its entry was against Hungary's interests on Saturday.
Ukraine, or what will be left of it, will again become a buffer zone. It will not be a NATO member, but will it be a member of the European Union? That will be decided by the Hungarians. Ukraine will never be a member of the European Union against Hungary and the Hungarians.
Now, Russian President Vladimir Putin convened a meeting with Russia's Security Council on Saturday. Putin stated that he had received reports from Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov regarding his recent diplomatic travels and asked to present the updates of the trip to the Security Council members for further discussion. Lavrov was part of the Russian delegation that met with US officials in Riyadh earlier this week in the first talks between the two sides aimed at ending the conflict. Now, Germans will head to the polling stations on Sunday to decide on their next government in a snap parliamentary election. The contest could have implications not only for Germany, but for all of Europe. There is hope across Europe that this vote will bring stability to the EU's largest democracy and economy, which is grappling with a prolonged recession.
The high-octane campaigning in Germany for Sunday's snap election ended. Big guns from all the four major political parties held final rallies to sway voters ahead of parliamentary election. Four candidates are competing for the top chancellor job. Incumbent Olaf Scholz of the Social Democratic Party, Friedrich Merz of the Christian Democratic Union, Robert Habeck of Greens Party, and far-right Alice Weidel of the Alternative for Germany. During the election campaign, Green Party lead candidate Robert Habeck said that the country must not be allowed to be torn apart or to forget the climate.
I can only say that if the Greens are not in government or have no chance of negotiation for the government, then there will be no climate protection. Then there will be no social justice. Then there will be no progress for Europe. We make the difference.
Meanwhile, conservative frontrunner Friedrich Merz told supporters that under his leadership, Germany would take responsibility in Europe.
The most important task of the next federal government and the person who heads this federal government will be to once again vigorously fulfill Germany's responsibility in the European Union. Under no circumstances can things remain as they are now. We must and we will change that.
Sunday's vote comes at a time of upheaval for Europe as US President Donald Trump has ended a united Western stance on the Ukraine conflict by reaching out to Russia. While German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said that his country was committed to a strong Europe and criticized the American transactional approach to politics.
A favorite word in American politics is transactional. That is something that does not characterize German politics. We are committed to a strong Europe. We are standing up for Ukraine because it must not be left alone, not just because there are minerals there.
For months, German politics has been paralyzed by the collapse of the previous government. People across Europe hope that this vote will bring certainty to the EU's biggest democracy and world's third largest economy. Bureau Report, TT India.
And reviving the European Union's biggest economy as well as immigration and security are the main issues in Germany's snap election, triggered by the collapse of centre-left Chancellor Olaf Scholz's coalition late last year. In this report, we assess what all are the issues mounting ahead of the vote for Germany's next parliament, the Bundestag.
Germany heads to snap national elections on Feb 23rd following the collapse of Chancellor Olaf Scholz's three-way coalition. But what are the key issues and how are people reacting? The Russia-Ukraine conflict is on the agenda of Germany's election. The mainstream parties are all in favor of helping Ukraine fend off Russia's attack, while the AfD and BSW want an end to weapons delivery to Kyiv and a resumption of good relations with Moscow.
I think one of the things that moves people in Germany most might be the topic of migration, because not necessarily on their own accounts, but because it's a topic that has been raised by all of the major parties and thus has set a movement into place with the people as well. It is a topic that is very important for every one of us, but the way that it's discussed, it's not often the optimal way.
Many migrants have expressed a desire to integrate and contribute to society.
Germany helps the Ukrainians a lot, but the Ukrainians have to help Germany too. One simply can't always live at the expense of the state that feeds you for years. People have to start work and make their contribution.
Economy is another key issue in Germany. In Ghent and Kirchen, the signs of a downturn are visibly everywhere. While the city played a big part in Germany's post-war economic miracle, the rot set in with the decline of coal and heavy industry in the 1960s. The population tumbled from 390,000 then to just 260,000 now, as the local economy cratered. Now the German voters here demand change as Europe's biggest economy stalls.
I just believe that our last government did a lot of things wrong, starting with the industry and energy policies and many other factors. That's why I'm almost certain that no matter what the new government will do, it will be possible to get out of this hole and that we will manage to create jobs again and to adequately address energy policy issues which people can actually afford.
High energy prices remain a formidable challenge for households and businesses in Germany.
We need to discuss the further transformation of our energy system while respecting companies' different need and their energy requirement. Here the state must put the relevant infrastructure at the forefront.
Every candidate who wins one of Germany's 299 constituencies is guaranteed a seat. To fill the other half of the 598 seats in Germany's Bundestag, voters cast their votes in the second vote, or Zweitstimme. This vote goes to a political party instead of a single candidate. Bureau Report, DD India.
Pope Francis' health worsens after prolonged respiratory crisis, remaining in critical condition. The 88-year-old Pope, who has double pneumonia, had suffered a prolonged asthma-like respiratory crisis. He was admitted to Rome's Gemelli Hospital on February 14. People across Latin America and around the world are praying for Pope's recovery, attending masses, lighting candles and individual prayers. In Argentina, the Pope's hometown, a nationwide call was made for people to pray for his recovery. In Brazil, the largest Catholic country in the world, people have also joined in prayers. The Pope remains alert and is receiving treatment, but his prognosis remains guarded. The world prays for his better health conditions by sending prayers and good wishes for his speedy recovery. A cholera outbreak in a Sudanese city killed nearly 60 people and sickened about 1,300 others over the last 3 days. The outbreak in the southern city of diseases because of the consumption of contaminated drinking water after the city's water plant stopped due to an attack by a notorious paramilitary group, the health ministry said. The ministry said in a statement the disease killed 58 people and sickened 1,293 others between Thursday and Saturday. Officials have urged stronger chlorination of the water distribution system. Sudan's healthcare system has been crippled by the country's brutal unrest, which has killed tens of thousands and displaced more than 12 million people. One person died and 2 police officers were seriously injured in a knife attack in eastern France. Prosecutors said that 3 more officers were lightly wounded in the attack in the city of Mulhouse, carried out by a 37-year-old suspect who is on a terror prevention watch list. France's National Anti-Terror Prosecutors Unit said it was taking charge of the investigation. The suspect was arrested. President Emmanuel Macron said the attack was Islamist terrorism, and France's Anti-Terrorism Prosecutors Office confirmed it was investigating the case. Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's power pact scheduled for 3 days to 3 states. Details after the break. Maharashtra's first riverside clamping, perfect getaway from urban chaos. And the Oruro Carnival in Bolivia kicks off with a spectacular symphony.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with compatriots in his monthly Mann Ki Baat radio broadcast today at 11 a.m. local time. It will be the 119th episode of the program. It will be broadcast on all the networks of Akashvani and Doordarshan, the AIR news website and the News On Air mobile application. It will be live streamed on the YouTube channels of AIR News, DD News, PMO and the Information and Broadcasting Ministry. Akashvani will broadcast the program in the regional languages immediately after the Hindi broadcast. In a power-packed schedule of 3 days to 3 states, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit central state of Madhya Pradesh, eastern state of Bihar and northeastern state of Assam. Starting February 23rd, Prime Minister will be laying the foundation stone of Bageshwar Dham Medical and Science Research Institute in Chhatarpur, Madhya Pradesh, ensuring better healthcare services for people from all walks of life. The cancer hospital will offer free treatment to underprivileged cancer patients and will be equipped with state-of-the-art machines and have specialist doctors. On February 24th, PM will be addressing the Investor Summit of Madhya Pradesh, a state with immense potential for investment and growth. Representatives from over 60 countries, officials from various international organizations, over 300 prominent industry leaders from India and policymakers, among others, will participate in the summit. And in line with his commitment to boost connectivity infrastructure and farmers' income, Prime Minister will release the 19th installment of PM Kisan at Bhagalpur. Over 9.7 crore farmers across the country will receive direct financial benefits amounting to more than Rs 21,500 crore. Prime Minister will also dedicate rail projects. On the February 24th, Prime Minister will attend the Jumoir Binandini program in the vibrant city of Guwahati. This program celebrates the culture of Assam, especially the tea tribes and other tribal communities of the state. The central and Assam government are working continuously for the welfare. On 25th of February, PM will take part in the Advantage Assam Investment Summit, which seeks to add momentum to the state's development journey. And experience luxury in the lap of nature at Maharashtra's first riverside eco-glamping festival in Nashik. Nestled along the serene Gangapur Dam backwaters, it offers a perfect escape from the city. Organized by Maharashtra Tourism, this first-of-its-kind glamping experience blends comfort, adventure and culture in a stunning natural setting. For an exclusive glimpse into the eco-glamping festival, here's DD India's Taposh Bhattacharya with all the details.
Welcome to Maharashtra's first riverside eco-glamping festival. What exactly is glamping? Well, glamping is nothing but a fancy name to an outdoor camping activity. You get all the amenities that comes with outdoor camping and the luxury that is attached. To give you a detailed story and exactly how this is changing the fortune of Maharashtra tourism. This is a one-of-a-kind initiative. The first time Maharashtra tourism has come up with this brilliant idea. We'll discover a one-of-a-kind escape at the Eco-Glamping Festival in Nasik that starts from January 15th to 31st of March 2025 and immerse yourself in the luxury, culture and adventure at the breathtaking Gangapur Dam backwaters. Stay in a luxurious tent surrounded by nature, around 59 such awe-inspiring tents, including the pod-like tents which are hogging the limelight to woo the public and experience the charm of village life with rural experiences. For adventure seekers, thrill awaits with paragliding, ATV rides, trekking, cycling and even paintball arena. Plus, enjoy the cultural performances, interactive workshops and much more. Easily accessible via Nasik and Shirdi Airport, this festival is perfect for families, explorers and culture of lovers. You can see behind me these are the pods. These are 4 pods that are there, and that in front of me there are this presidential suites, and this is something that makes this eco-glamping festival. This is the first of its kind eco-glamping festival that has been arranged by the Maharashtra tourism. It's a huge opportunity for Maharashtra to showcase its different things. For Maharashtra, this is one of a kind initiative. So this winter escape to Maharashtra's most unforgettable celebration of nature and tradition. This is Taposh Bhattacharya for DD India from Nasik.
And the cricketing world is abuzz as a fierce rivalry reignites on Sunday. India takes on Pakistan in a high-octane ICC Champions Trophy clash in Dubai. India is riding high after beating Bangladesh by 6 wickets, but Pakistan will look to bounce back following their 60-run defeat to New Zealand in the tournament opener. And Australia pulled off a monster chase against England in the Champions Trophy after Josh Inglis' 100 held them to prevail in a high-scoring thriller by 5 wickets. Opener Ben Duckett smashed 165 to propel England to 351 for the loss of 8 wickets. Inglis hammered 120 not out of 86 balls, while Alex Carey and Matthew Shott chipped in with half-centuries as Australia reached the target with 15 balls to spare. Inglis hit his maiden century to help Australia chase down the highest target in Champions Trophy history. And Bolivia's Oruro Carnival kicked off with a spectacular symphony featuring over 70 bands and 5,000 musicians from various regions, celebrating the 23rd edition dedicated to countries bicentennial. UNESCO describes the carnival as a vibrant culture festival, and it is recognized as a World Heritage event. Well, that's all for this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.